On this week's tech demo, we are looking at tyres, and I'm going to welcome Albert.
Hello, Sana.
Hello. I'm very excited because we've got some tyres to look at, some kit as well, and it's an interesting process, isn't it? Managing tyres. We hear that out on track, we hear the drivers talking about tyre management, but there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes as well.
Yeah, many things that the teams look after the tires before and after they fit on the car. So let's see what they do with them.
Well, let's head round and have a little look at what we've got.
Okay.
We've got a soft Pirelli tyre here.
Brand
Now,
new.
brand new, brand spanking new, nice and shiny.
Yep.
This is what the teams receive.
Yes.
What do they do when they've got it?
This is a rubber, is an elastoma. So we need to heat it to achieve the temperature where the tire is performing well. There is a window where the tire is doing its target. So it's doing the performance that is required by Pirelli in this case. There's different compounds and different windows where the tire is performing better. So what we have to do and what the teams do is to heat the tire before it goes on track.
Make it nice and cozy.
Yeah, this is a heater, electrical heater, like the one we can have at home.
Yes.
On bed.
I don't need that
A
here,
long
I
time
have
ago.
to say.
Yes. And what the teams do is to take the tire and literally wrap it up like this. So once you see, they wrap it up not only on the surface, also on the sidewalls. So it's important also to hit the sidewalls of the tire. It's not only the part that is touching onto the floor. It's also important to warm up everything as a whole.
All around it.
All around. So Pirelli sets a limit on the heater. You cannot have the heater working all night. There is only 3 hours where they can hit the tire before it's fitted on the car.
And
the
what temperature?
70 degrees on the dry tires. And another important thing to have in account before they start hitting the tire is the minimum pressure. You know that there is minimum pressures?
Yes, and that changes, doesn't it, from race to race?
From race to race. So now the tires has a special sensor. Same sensor for everyone. We saw that Craig Scarborough was playing very well in Silverstone.
Yes, absolutely, a couple of weeks ago.
But it's good also to check the pressure, as you can do it on your own car. Just
I sometimes have to get people to help me with that.
Okay. So
you can be my helper today.
Yeah, okay. So I'll do it for you. But it's very easy. It's just to plug the sensor and see the pressure. You see, now it's 33.5. As the minimum pressure for the rear tires is 24.5. We should increase a little bit the minimum pressure before we fit it on the car. But it's okay. So the teams used to set the pressure, the minimum pressure, put it on the car, take the blanket off and send it.
And we see the mechanics, don't we, waiting with the tyre blankets there just to make sure that the heat is there for as long as possible.
Yeah, the last minute when they put the car already on the floor, they just cover the tires to keep up to the last minute the temperature on the tire to put it on track as soon as possible.
So then off the driver goes, does a few laps, comes back in, and what's the first thing then that the teams and mechanics have to do?
Obviously the tire is a little bit more wear.
Yes, it looks a bit more kind of speckled, I guess, with the pickup.
Yeah, there's a tire that's been picked up, there's a degradation to the temperature. Here is a lot of temperature, so there is a thermal degradation on the tire.
I'm gonna feel
it's a
that.
rubber, you can feel it's still rubber.
It's rough.
This one is still heat. And so to analyze properly what happened on the tire, to take a good look of how the tire is touching the floor, how it's performing, if there is any graining, if there is abrasion, how is the wear. We need to take off this pickup tire that is on.
And we hear sometimes the engineers ask the drivers to pick up the marbles, the bits on the side.
That's because of the weight.
That's for the weight,
Look,
but that's what they want to get rid of.
That's a good point, because the first thing you have to do when the tire arrives and you dismantle from the car is to weight it and to see the temperature. That's a scale.
Yes,
we
that's
don't,
a
we
scale.
don't need
weigh
a
that.
very, very technological thing. It's coming from the hotel. I pick it up from the hotel.
I'm not getting on it.
Yes.
No one wants to see that reading.
Okay, they weigh the tire to see the wear. Obviously, there's marbles around the circuit that are part of the tire, so we need to know how much tire we lost during a practice, during a race, or during a qualifying, because it's important for the minimum weight of the car.
Now it's always very busy in the paddock at the end of a
Yes.
session because we see the mechanics coming out here working with the Pirelli representatives as well, scraping the tyre.
Yeah.
Now you can't just scrape, so you need some heat and you also
Yep.
need a helper. So let's welcome Fernando from Pirelli to help us get
because
this right.
I don't know if I will do it.
Well, I know you would
in
do
a
it
good
right, but
manner.
it's nice to have Fernando checking.
So what we need is to heat up again.
Welcome to the show,
tyre?
Fernando.
Thank you.
We need to heat up again the tire to try to, with this,
Little scraper.
yeah. So what I'm trying to do is to take all the pickup tire off the surface. With that off, I have a good looking to see if there is any degradation, abrasion.
And where that is, I guess, on the tyre. I suppose
Exactly.
It varies.
Then you see the tires, there are some holes. 1, 2,
Yes,
3,
there
4,
are.
5, 6 holes.
And is it just there, or are they through
All around.
the
You
tyre?
can-
Yes.
But what we need to do after scrapping this pickup tire, you see, we go back to the proper surface of
Yes,
the
and
tire.
I can see that exactly like we saw on the brand new one.
Now we should take, let me go that way. We should take that tool. Nothing else than a caliper. You see? So what we're gonna do,
So that goes into the little holes,
Yeah.
is it?
tell me if I'm not doing it on the right way, but it's something like that. Yep. So as flat as possible. We measure the wear, 1.92. If we could be here, more or less the same. Why we use this? To analyze and see which is the wear of the tire, but also to see if there is different wear between the inside part and the external part of the tire.
And so those holes,
yes.
maybe I wasn't checking quickly enough, but we couldn't see them on the brand new tyre. This is once they've done a...
No.
We could.
You want?
Let's
you
see
wanna
the
check?
difference, yes.
Let's check, Fernando. Yeah. That was not on the plan, but as always, answering the questions
There we go.
from
Yes,
the audience.
there we go.
But we can measure now here, and see that there is a difference between what we had with the new tire, 2.5,
So we've lost a little bit by going out, doing a few laps.
0.6 millimeters of tire has gone.
Look at that.
So
What a
that's
clever
the point.
way of managing
Yeah,
it.
it is.
Very, very clever.
Yep.
Fernando,
So-
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Excellent. Well, that explains.
Yeah, now we need to watch the tire.
Yes, you see, that's where I think we hand over to the other professionals. It's a real process, though, isn't it? From the beginning of the race weekend right through to the
Yeah.
end, and you're constantly seeing tyres being wheeled up and down the paddock by the Pirelli representatives, by the team's mechanics.
A lot
It's
of.
always a focus for the teams.
Yes, and a lot of tires because this is only one tire of one set of one car of one team. So there is a lot of tires, a lot to see, to watch, to inspect, to take pictures if there is a cut, so Pirelli can see that there is something on the track that is not good for the tire, so they can take good conclusions, good analysis, and obviously to share with the other teams to get the best of the tires.
Yeah, it looks peaceful here outside the Pirelli hospitality,
Yeah,
but I
not-
tell you, when you go down to the sort of marquee area where the
Yes.
Pirelli guys work, wow, it's an amazing thing to watch all weekend long. Albert, thank you so much.
you.
Thank you to Fernando.
Fernando.
Incredible
And thanks, Pirelli.
stagehand. And thank you to Pirelli, of course. What a great tech demo. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you, Rosanna. You happy to watch it or not?
No.
Come on.
I think it's very nice, just like this.
Very good.